In this video, I'm going to be showing you an alternative to the normal cross. Instead of building a cross, you build a three-piece cross with the piece flipped over. So when you finish your first two layers with a single flipped cross, you could then do edge orientation while also preserving the corners. The first step in this is pretty straightforward. What you would do is you would insert the first piece while you'd insert the cross while having a flipped edge. It's pretty much the same as building the normal cross, except you just have the flipped edge. And then you would solve the first two layers with the first two layers with the flipped edge, and then perform the edge orientation, and that also preserves the corners. So you can see from here that the corners are, we have the chameleon case for the corners, and that will still remain the same after that, after flipping the edges, and then you can solve the corner orientation. The difference between this and normal to-look OLL is that it allows you to look ahead to the corner orientation a lot easier, and half of the time you get a really good case, another half a not so great case, but it's still pretty fast. The case that's the best is when you have three on top that are misoriented, and then one in the normal place. For this you do a M prime U M, U prime, M prime U 2 M. So very, very fast. Second case you can get is basically when there's one on the top that's flipped and then in the normal down front position. You'd move it to the back, perform M prime U M, U M prime U M, U2, M prime U2 M. Basically the same trigger twice. It would be one trigger, U, trigger again, and then inserting the corner piece. And through this you can look ahead to see what the corners are, and then finish. There's another variation of this method. Instead of building the complete cross, you would have the three-piece cross and no edge placed in the third slot. And then you would continue on to the F12 phase, except you'll still have a different piece in this slot. This can damage look ahead a little bit, and it allows you to move the M slice once, which can affect edge orientation, so you can match up other pieces easier. But you also have to look in this spot for an edge, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Like if there's a blue-red piece in here and you saw the blue-red corner, it's right there, you could move it over here, line it up, and allow for an easy insertion. Also having that there would cause more edge orientation cases, because this edge could be oriented like it is here. It'll give you a different case that isn't shown in the previous one. Of the cases that are shown, you can have one that is two edges misoriented and they're adjacent to each other. You can use M prime U M, U2, M prime U M, and then you'd insert whatever the white piece on the top is into the D face with the M prime U2 M. The next case that you can get is when you have two on the top that are opposite of each other. And for this case you do M prime U M, U prime, M prime, and then you'd insert the white piece on the top into the D face. So it's pretty much M prime UM. The last case you can get is when all of the edges on the top are misoriented, and to solve this one you do an M prime U2M, and then you'd have the 3 on top, and then you do an M prime UM, and then insert the white piece onto the D face. To quickly go over the edge orientation while you look at this, as you glance at the U face, you notice how many pieces are oriented on the corners. If there's one, it's going to be either soon or anti-soon cases. If there's 2 of them, it's going to be headlights or chameleon. And then if none of them are, you'll have the double soon, the double headlights, or the headlights and the chameleon on the back. You can look at those as you're solving the edge orientation, which allows for pretty nice look ahead. An example solve would look something like this. I have a piece here, and this piece is already oriented on the back face. So I'll do a U2, R prime, F2, then I could leave it like this, or back here when it was like this, I could have inserted this, like so. Then you'd continue on to the F2L phase. And then you have the quick edge orientation, and then the edge permutation, edge corner orientation, and then you'd finish it up with the PLL. Another example of this would be to solve it without the last one. So I'll go over a solve like that also. So I solved the 3 edges, and then you'd go over into the first 2 layer phase. If you noticed here, this piece, it could have been lined up like that, but I decided to line it up like that so I can insert it. And when you do a move like that, you have to undo that move. And so and then I got an edge orientation skip, so I could just put it in and then solve the permutation. So it's pretty straightforward.